Welcome to Realms Beyond, your best destination for learning about the art world past, present, and future. We invite you to stay to the end of this video so you can gain a full understanding of today's featured artist, Hans Makart. Born in 1840 in Salzburg, Austria, Hans Makart was known as a prolific academic history painter, designer, and decorator. His ideas significantly influenced the development of visual art in Austria-Hungary, Germany, and beyond. Makart was the son of a chamberlain at the Mirabell Palace, born in the former residence of the prince-archbishops of Salzburg, the city in which Mozart had been born. Initially, he received his training in painting at the Vienna Academy between 1850 and 1851 from Johann Fischbach. While in the academy, German art was under the rule of a classicism, which was entirely intellectual and academic, clear and precise drawing, sculpturesque modeling, and pictorial erudition were esteemed above all. Makart, who was a poor draughtsman, but who had a passionate and sensual love of color, was impatient to escape the routine of art school drawing. His instructors found him to be devoid of all talent. Hans Makart eventually went to Munich, where he attracted the attention of Carl Theodor von Piloty, under whose guidance he developed his painting style. During these years, Makart also traveled to London, Paris and Rome to further his studies. In an early painting called The Night and the Water Nymphs, Makart first displayed the decorative qualities to which he afterwards sacrificed everything else in his work. His fame became established in the next year, with two works, Modern Amoretti and The Plague in Florence. His painting Romeo and Juliet was soon after bought by the Austrian emperor for the Vienna Museum, and Makart was invited to come to Vienna by the aristocracy. The Prince von Hohenlohe provided Makart with an old foundry at the Gusshausstrasse 25 to use as a studio. Young Hans Makart gradually turned it into an impressive place full of sculptures, flowers, musical instruments, requisites and jewelry that he used to create classical settings for his portraits, mainly of young nude women. Eventually his studio looked like a salon and became a social meeting point in Vienna. It was described as a wonder of decorative beauty, and a sublime lumber room. His luxurious studio served as a nexus for many wild and decent parties. The opulent, semi-public spaces of the Makart workshop were the scene of a recurring rendezvous between the artist and his public. Makart became the mediator between different levels of society. He created a socially ambiguous sphere in which nobility and bourgeoisie could encounter one another in mutual veneration of the master, and aestheticized the burgeoning self-awareness of the bourgeoisie by means of historical models drawn from the world of the aristocracy. In this way, an artist like Makart lived out the image that high society had created of him. Makart became the acknowledged leader of the artistic life of Vienna, which in the 1870s passed through a period of feverish activity. A chief result of this vigor were the sumptuously decorated public buildings of the Ringstrasse. He not only practiced painting, but was also an interior designer, costume designer, furniture designer, and decorator, and his work decorated most of the public spaces of the era. In 1879, Makart designed a pageant organized to celebrate the silver wedding anniversary of the imperial couple, Emperor Franz Joseph I and his wife Elizabeth of Bavaria. He designed single-handedly the costumes, scenic setting, and triumphal cars. This became known as the Makart Parade, and gave the people of Vienna the chance to dress up in historical costumes and be transported back into the past for a few hours. At the head of the parade was a float for artists, led by Makart on a white horse. His festivals became an institution in Vienna which lasted up until the 1960s. Makart's painting The Entry of Charles V into Antwerp caused some controversy, because Charles V was depicted arriving in a procession surrounded by nude virgins. In America this painting was condemned by the authorities there. However, the American public desired at once to see for themselves if this artwork was of low virtue or not. In 1882, Emperor Franz Joseph I ordered the building of the Villa Hermes at Lanes, near Vienna, for his empress and specified the bedroom decoration to be inspired from Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream. Makart designed for him a dream world decoration as a large painting that is still in existence. Unfortunately, his design was never executed after his early death in 1884. His collection of antiques and art consisted of 1,083 pieces and was put up for auction by art dealer H.O. Meath. Makart was deeply interested in the interaction of all the visual arts, and thus in the implementation of the idea of the total work of art, which dominated discussions on the arts in the 19th century. This was the ideal which he realized in magnificent festivities which he organized and centered on himself. The 1879 Makart Parade was the culmination of these endeavors. Makart was also a friend of the composer Richard Wagner, and it can be argued that the two developed the same concepts and stylistic tendencies in their differing art forms, a concern for embedding motifs of history and mythology in a framework of aestheticism, making their respective works historical pageants. Makart's work, like those of other academic artists of the time, consisted of allegorical painting and history painting as seen in Katharina Carnero, Diana's Hunt, the entry of Charles V into Antwerp, the death of Cleopatra, the Five Senses, and Bacchus and Ariadne. Hans Makart passed away at the age of 45 years old in 1884. Since that time, it has been suggested that the primacy of sexual symbolism in Art Nouveau artworks were influenced by the sensuality in many of Makart's paintings. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your continuing support. See you in the next video. If you're enjoying the content so far, I would really appreciate it if you could take a moment to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when we upload new videos, and you'll never miss out. Also, don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. It really helps out and lets us know that you're enjoying the content. And if you think this video would be helpful or entertaining for someone else, please share it with them. Finally, make sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Hitting the bell ensures that you'll always be notified when we upload new content. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.